tips about how to maximize your hair growth by keeping a healthy scalp and healthy roots, okay? These tips are not going to be in any particular order. I have them written down on my little notepad right here, so if you see me looking back and forth, that's what I'm doing, okay? Just jump right into this, all right? The first tip I have is keep a clean scalp, okay? And you do this by washing your hair on a regular basis. A lot of people, especially when they're starting out their journey, you know, they try to listen to people and tell them not to wash their hair for a long time. And first off, that's nasty. Second of all, that impedes your hair growth by contributing to buildup. So you don't want to do that. The tip that I have is to pay attention to the products that you use. And this kind of goes with tip one. If you're using waxy based products, and I've even seen people or heard of people using black gel to start their locks, which I strongly do not recommend. If you're using the wrong types of products that are basically going to suffocate your scalp, you're automatically impeding hair growth. So I would strongly recommend to go with water-based products when you're retwisting. Aloe vera gel is a good one. Some people like to make their own flaxseed gel, but pay attention to the products that you're using, because that is going to directly impact your level of growth and the amount of buildup that's in your hair, okay? Third tip that I have is, you know, if you want to kind of help keep your scalp as fresh as possible, you can freshen your locks in between washes. And I do that, personally I do that using witch hazel, because one is very easy to get, and the process of doing it is very easy. You use a dark, I would recommend using a dark shirt in witch hazel, it doesn't matter the brand, and you just pour the witch hazel on the dark shirt and you just go through your scalp. And that's a way to keep your locks fresh and smelling fresh in between washes, because one, if your hair is smelling, then that's a good indicator that you're getting buildup. Even if it's not necessarily showing, you can tell when you need a wash. And if you need a wash, I'm not saying that you can just go use witch hazel, okay? And that's it. If you know when you need to wash your hair, all right? So if you feel like, you know, you want to stretch maybe a day or two more between the wash, maybe you can do that. But I'm not saying to use the witch hazel as a way of not washing your hair. Only use it as a way of kind of like mitigating any, if you sweat a lot in the gym, or if you just sweat in general on your scalp, that can kind of be like a way to keep your hair fresh in between washes. Now, still wash your hair, okay? So the next tip is keep your scalp moisturized. It is very important to keep your scalp moisturized when you're trying to grow your hair out, because if you don't, that automatically contributes to dandruff, which can mix with any, if you're using bad products, can mix in with the bad product and automatically cause buildup. Next tip is pay attention to how you're protecting your hair whenever you are sleeping at night. I consider your edges, you know, they're part of your roots too, because they're right there on the scalp. So if you are wearing something, I wouldn't necessarily wear this to bed because of the tension is kind of tight in this area. If you're protecting your hair, specifically your edges at night, then you're protecting your roots, and that is going to contribute to hair growth because you're not having broken roots or dry roots. So I would use, it's called a lock sock, where you just slide it on your head and you're good to go. All your locks are protected, your roots are protected, and it doesn't have a lot of tension. So pay attention to that. You don't want to have too much tension on your edges whenever you're going to bed. So the next tip is pay attention to how you are pulling your hair up whenever you are trying to get it out of your face. This also goes back to your edges. You don't want to put too much tension on your edges, because that automatically puts tension on your, you know, your hair where it grows out at. If you have tension where your hair is literally growing out from the scalp, you're not going to retain any growth, and hair is going to break off. You're not going to have anything to lock up. So pay attention to how you're pulling your hair up. What I do is, when I'm going to the gym or when I just want my hair out my face, I'll use like a regular, you know, black band, and after I put my hair up, I'll just pull the edges down a little bit just to take off, put a little slack in there so it won't be so tight around my edges, okay? The next thing is, and this is probably, you know, a very common suggestion for anything when it comes to health, is drink water. You know, the average person needs about 4 bottles of water a day. I would suggest, you know, if you can get in a little bit more, do that, because that's especially important when it comes to keeping your hair moisturized, so to the point where it does not break off and just retaining length to begin with. Water is good for your hair, it's good for your skin, it's good for your nails. Just drink water, okay? The last tip I have, which a lot of people, you know, that may or may not know, is green produce helps contribute to hair growth. because at the end of the day, your body is made of what you put in it. And it kind of goes back with the drinking water tip. Drinking water and putting fresh produce in your body is going to contribute to healthy scalp and thus healthy hair and healthy roots. So get your water in and drink and get your green produce in, okay? And that's basically it. Stay tuned for more tips on Locs, as well as more tips on mental health, personal development, and fitness, okay? And until next time, I will see you in the next video.